scrimmaging with the referees here being here?
Yeah, we have 2 days this week with the refs, today and tomorrow. So a little bit of a different day, just building off what we did yesterday and kind of a similar format. You know, about 40-45% of the time was drills and breakdowns, and then the other time, the rest of it was live, either one-on-one or some form of 5-on-5, and got pretty decent scrimmaging as well.
See LeBron's slides. What about Marcus and Dude and Gabe? And then were there any other guys that were unable to
participate? No update really from yesterday. Bron again for the second straight day did some individual on-court work. Gabe was a full participant today. No update on any of the other guys. The only new thing is Maxey, kind of tweaked his quad yesterday during conditioning. As a precautionary, he sat out today. He'll get an MR later this afternoon, and hopefully, it's nothing serious.
How have you adjusted sort of your from training camp 1 to training camp 2 in terms of priorities? Is there anything that drastic changes you've made to how you wanted to organize this versus last year having some level of proof of concept from year one?
I would say probably the biggest point of emphasis is just providing more structure in early offense and really emphasizing our running patterns and just kind of being organized in early offense. The second thing is having them run more, just in general, not necessarily just sprints, but just like having them do more full court where they're running and getting in shape.
Coach, when it comes to running and speeding up, often when that happens in any...
How do you use your two-way guys this season?
We have, to start the year, we have a much deeper roster. Even though we have one less player, we have a deeper roster. We also, I think, have more health given, we had 2 rostered players that weren't even in camp with us last year in Seawood and Vando. So I haven't necessarily thought about that part of it in terms of managing games because, again, we don't even know what opening night looks like. I would say in general, the communication and the planning for our 2-ways between myself, Zach, Chris Ebersol, with player experience and RP, I think we have a good plan in place. Player development as well, of course, they're going to be involved in that, but I think we have a good plan in place for how that looks and how we're going to manage it. Just kind of mapping out things 2 weeks at a time and giving Zach, continuing to give Zach, I would just call it instruction on sort of what we want those guys to do when they're with him versus when they're with us.
Throughout preseason, what are the main factors you're going to evaluate to determine dog rotation?
Health. Health. I mean, that's the biggest thing. You can sort of look at a team on paper, but until they're on the court, you don't really know. I think it starts there. No, we're going to play Austin and Luka. I think they're going to play. Marcus is going to get healthy. Gabe's, I think trending in the right direction. Jake will play. And the rest of it is a competition.
JJ, last season.
His body being in a good place from an athleticism and agility standpoint will be super helpful for our team.
What went into identifying, greater structure to the early offense? What went into identifying that as a priority for this team coming to the season?
I didn't hear the question.
What went into identifying, bringing structure to the early offense?
What went into it? Well, I'm still not.
In the sense of, did you see it as something that the more successful offenses were doing, something that you saw even during last season that?
No. It's just about what's best for our team. I think. It's like literally up at my board up there. It's our 3 best players are going to create a lot of our offense. So how do we get our 3 best players sort of in a structure where they're all involved in early offense. And it's just about creating very clear sort of priorities and goals in early offense. That's really all it is. I mean, it's actually not complicated, to be honest with you. Are you in 5-out spacing? Are you in 4-out, 1-in spacing? And what are the triggers that lead to your first action? But it's, again, I think where our team last year, having multiple versions of a team, having multiple primary ball handlers, I don't ever feel like we got into like a super good rhythm with that. And then obviously adding Luka post-trade, that's a whole nother team. So I really look at this entire preseason, this early part of the season. It doesn't happen overnight, but I think we'll be in a good spot with our early offense.
And knowing that you've always liked what Gabe brings to the table, how do you see how he can complement so many different skill sets with your own guards, whether it's Luka, Austin, Marcus?
Yeah, he's a secondary ball handler. He's a laser to me. I mean, his start of the season didn't shoot it well from that Utah game that he started on. He's qualified as a laser. Like he can play off ball, he can play on ball. I think his toughness, one of his big things and my big things for him this season is just his leadership. He's been phenomenal the first 2 days. He was great all of September. I love that he's embracing that. He certainly has the respect of his teammates because he's such a professional and he really respects the craft and he takes care of himself. If you were to do a teach tape on how to do a rep of a shooting drill, you'd show a Gabe Vincent thing. He's just a pro, and I think him embracing that leadership role is going to be big for us.
How did you like the great team was going today? Especially the game here in Jackson was, just give us a friendly banner about how the great team was doing. But how do you like the competitiveness of the group today in the scrimmages?
We've had 2 really good days from a competitiveness standpoint. Thought Gray, I think they won every single competitive thing today, from one-on-one shooting drills to 5-on-5-on-5 to scrimmage to our transition build-up drill. They've won everything. And I told our E10 and two-way guys they're making our camp better right now. They're making our camp better. Nick Smith is making our camp better. Coloco's making our camp better. Chris Magnon's making our camp better. Nate Williams is making our camp better. RJ's making our camp better. They're all doing a phenomenal job.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, I thought we put together a really good first 2 days. We've been competing, we've been physical. JJ's been bringing up winning the day, and I think we've won both days of training camp so far. We've been implementing some new stuff, obviously some new guys on the team. So just trying to still get used to how everyone plays and playing with each other on the court. But yeah, I thought it's been a really good first 2 days.
You played on a couple of NBA teams thus far. How's the Laker experience struck you early on compared to those other stops?
It's just like a lot more than anywhere else I've been. I've been in Memphis, Sacramento, and the Lakers, it's a basketball team, but it's like a lot bigger than that as well. Obviously, it's a brand, it's worldwide. There's a lot more to it than it just being the basketball team. So, yeah, I guess I'm going to see again once season starts and the fans and everything like that, but I'm excited for it.
How do you handle that? Does that cross your mind at all, or do you try to keep it
No, not really. I just kind of focus on basketball, focus on getting better every day, winning the day, and yeah, I keep my focus on basketball.
You said before Media Day that you were able to kind of walk around Los Angeles and go a little bit unnoticed. Did Media Day change that for you at all?
No, not yet. I'm still able to go into some restaurants without being noticed, anything like that. Yeah, try to keep it as low key as possible.
Oh, don't get used to that.
Yeah.
Jake, what's Gabe like as a leader with this group?
He's really good. He's been very vocal. He's helped me ever since I got here, and since he got here, and yeah, he's just like one of those guys you can always go up to and ask a question, and he'll always be open to giving you feedback and helping you learn through things. He's obviously been here before, he's experienced it, and he's done a really good job at just being that vocal guy.
What examples come to mind of things he's helped you with?
Just like even in practice and stuff, if I go off to the side or whatever, and he'll kind of just be like, yo, like this is kind of what we do, or help me with some defensive schemes, or just help me understand what it's like to play in LA and stuff like that.
What's been the biggest adjustment for you so far? Just coming to the league.
I mean, like nothing much really. Like it's basketball at the end of the day, like I was saying. I have the same role I feel like as I've been having, where it's just coming in, playing hard, complimenting Luka, LeBron, AR, bringing toughness on defense, helping crash, rebound, all that kind of stuff. Still getting used to obviously playing with Luka. It's my first time, being on the same side as him. But it's gonna make my life so much easier playing with someone like that.
We just saw you shooting around with Jared Vanderbilt. To us, his mechanics look different than in the past. But what's your assessment of his outside shot?
Yeah, I mean it's gotten much better. I know early on in my career we didn't respect him as a shooter, but fair to say that he can shoot the ball very well now. He's been hitting shots. I don't know if he tweaked something, but yeah, it looks really good now and it's going in.
A lot of players were mentioning you during media day. How has it been for them, given having that high expectation for you, and then how have you seen that translate to practice? And I'm pretty sure a lot more players have been on you about expectations they have of you, and how have you seen that too?
Yeah, I mean, I just try and come in here and compete and bring energy every day. And I think that's what's expected of me, to be honest. Like I said, we got a lot of dudes on this team that can score, a lot of dudes on this team that can put the ball in the bucket. So, I'm here to compliment those players, but to also just bring energy every day on both sides of the ball.
What's been your impression of Luka on the court now that you've gotten to share it with him?
Very talented. I mean, he's been shooting like one-legged shots, and yeah, he's Luka at the end of the day. So I don't really got much to say to that. He's really good.
You got reps with him, kind of playing off of him as a shooter?
Yeah, I've been playing with Luka's group the first 2 days, and being able to play with him and understanding kind of how that's going to be as far as like spacing goes, and just where I'm going to be at on the court when we're on the court together.
What was your biggest personal highlight in training camp of something you've actually done during the scrimmage?
I've made a couple shots. I don't know if I've had like a ridiculous highlight play, but that's not really my game where I just go out and have a bunch of highlight plays. I kind of just, I'm here and there on the court. So
I know it's only been 2 days, but what position have you been defending the most? I know you're versatile on that end. So
I've mostly been guarding like 1 through 4. Yeah, I haven't really been on the center too much, but primary ball handler, bringing it up, I've been guarding them, and then usually switch 1 through 4 anyway, so kind of just rotate around.
How do you feel like the spacing, you talked about spacing,
yep.
How do you feel like that's changed? Because I know in college to here, deep corner is like a point.
Oh yeah, there's no spacing in college.
Yeah, so like how do you feel like the spacing is different here than most spots?
Yeah, I mean, the courts is all different. Like even my first year in the NBA, you could kind of see the gaps in between, or much easier driving gaps. And then when you have dudes like Luka, like LeBron, like AR on the team, and the help defender got to be shifted so far over, it's pretty easy for me to just kind of stand on the wing and be wide open and shoot the three. So it makes off-ball players' lives a lot easier playing with dudes like that, and this spacing should be really good. Awesome. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you. It feels amazing, for sure.
because you're able to have the entire summer for the first time in a few years, was there anything, a specific area of your game that you try to hone in on or work on?
I think the biggest thing for me was just to get in shape. And that's one of the biggest things JJ is talking about this year, just you got to be in shape. So my summer was a lot of running and just working my body, continue to get stronger and just work on my finishing, playing with guys like LeBron, Luka, and AR, you got to be ready to catch the ball and finish. So those were my points of emphasis.
This group made some changes, obviously, over the summer, but there's a lot of the same pieces that ended the season against Minnesota here. How do you feel like that first-round loss has carried with yourself or with the members of this group coming in as motivation for this year?
Oh, you can just see everybody is like more hungry. Everybody's more hungry. We knew what we did last year. We knew we could have done better. We want to do better. We want to win the championship out here. So everybody knows what it takes to to get to that next level. I mean, JJ's talking about it every day. We gotta be in shape. We gotta communicate. We gotta have championship habits. That's why he's talking about it every day. I think everybody's aware of that, and I think I'm excited for the season. I think we're gonna have a great year.
JJ, JJ personally shouted you out. He said just the energy and the style of play you're bringing is making it a really competitive camp. What specifically do you think you're doing a little bit differently?
I think today, all the two-ways guys, all the E10 guys, we did a really good job just bringing the energy, like you said, and just playing hard, just pushing the other guys. I think that's what we're here for, just to push them and make them better. And I mean, it's making us better too. So I think just playing hard and just trying to get them better. I think it's helping both of us.
Coach, blending the E10 two ways all together, and how would the line is in terms of that? Because he spoke very highly of the Ravens pretty much all the time.
Yeah, I mean, we're just all basically on the same team, just playing hard. We got to compete. We're all here to compete. We're trying to get a spot. If he's not here somewhere else, we're trying to get a spot. So we just came with the mentality just to play hard and just make the other guys better. So that's how he was today, I think. That's how he's going to be the rest of the preseason for sure.
I imagine you've had some reps against Aiden over the last couple of days. What's that matchup been like, and what are you seeing out of his game?
It's been really good. It's been really good. I mean, DA is a really strong guy. Just playing against him, I think, is going to help me a lot. Just having to play against somebody like him, a really strong guy. I mean, he knows he's been in the league for a long time now, so he knows the game, and I think he's really going to help us. Just he's rebounding, and then he's finishing. He's touching on the rim, and I mean, I think he's just a great dude in general, and I think he's really going to help us.
There's been several times, today's practice and yesterday, where you, Jackson, Aiden have been shooting the three ball. How's JJ been, telling you guys to shoot the three? Has he been promoting that and making sure that you guys are keeping the three up or not?
I mean, I don't know during the season, but I know during the summer I had the green light to shoot. During all the rounds and everything, I was actually shooting really good. Summer league, I know I was shooting a little bit. I mean, I don't know how it's going to be during the season.
Trey was kind of dominating there. Can you talk a little bit about how the scrimmages have been going so far in training camp?
Yeah, they play harder. This is for them. It's just they want to get the roster spots. For us, everybody too. But we've been competing. JJ said the grade is really good. We just we're just getting back together. But yeah, they playing hard. We gotta. We Papa, we have to kind of bring our energy back and get back to our rhythm.
What's LeBron's, influence been on practices, even though he's not full participant in what you guys are doing?
No, yeah, he been in the practice sitting and talking to us. He been getting treatment, but also we ask him questions and all that, and he been vocal with as a leader. So yeah, it's been great.
You talked on media day about wanting to be more aggressive. How do you kind of practice that and get into that mindset now during training camp, especially with LeBron still on the sideline?
Yeah, I think I have to be more aggressive on both hands. Offensively, of course, attacking the rim. Getting the ball and under the rim, those kind of stuff. Brown was doing it. I think those gonna be the easier for me, and of course knocking those threes, open threes. Luka and A are gonna get a lot of attention, so I gotta be ready for that.
JJ told Spectrum the other day he spent a lot of time reflecting on the Minnesota series, and the preparation going into it, and the execution during it. How did that first round exit sit with you over the offseason? What do you think back to it? Do you think that disappointment is carried by some of the members coming back to this team?
I mean, it's still there. That was our last game we played. So we think about it sometimes. But it is what it is. We just gotta. We got a new team. We have to have the different mindset. Coming out the new season, and yeah, we gotta. There are a lot of changes. They made in the league too. So we gotta kind of see who's in what. But yeah, I think we got better too. So we just gotta build our chemistry, and we're going from there.
Expect that you'll be playing a good amount of minutes with DeAndre Ayton. It's only been a couple days of practice, but wondered if you've noticed how your games complement each other and kind of what he's like as a player.
Yeah, he likes to shoot mid range. He got those. He has a size, so he can get in the rim easily. It's almost a mismatch, every time, and especially me, him, Braun on the court. There's almost mismatch. Somebody gonna be mismatched with this lineup, so I think it's gonna be interesting.
And how about defensively?
Yeah. He has a size, so we can trust him in the backside. I think we can kind of pressure the ball more. I think with our communication, we have to be a little better about it with the coverage, but I think it's going to be fine.
Really, now that Luka will have a full training camp with the group, you talked about a couple of weeks ago. What have you seen so far?
Yeah, he's more vocal. I think I can see that he's the leader in here. I got the since of course when he got traded, he came from injury. He came out from injury, whatever, and came to the new team. So he was a little bit shy, I guess. But now he's just more vocal. He sees a lot of stuff, so he communicates with everybody. Make sure the whole team's good.
How was the offseason been with you? Like you slimmed down a little bit. And too, I know you worked out with Ron outside. You also worked out with Todd Ariza and some other guys too. You've been real active out here. So how did the workout go? And how was your camp too?
Yeah, it's been great. I was walking out with my trainer Jared. I've been with him the whole summer. But yeah, also the basket on the court. I was walking out with LeBron, whatever. But yeah, I think my goal is the same. I wanna win championship in here, and I have a big job in here too. So I gotta make sure my roles, everything, whatever the team asks for, and I just gotta focus on that and help this team win.
You guys were a really tight-knit group last year. What are your early impressions of the new additions and how they kind of have fit into
yeah, I think we got bigger. I think we have more size now. Not necessarily height, but I think the size with our strength. I think we're gonna be really good with the 1-2-5. Especially we do a lot of switching lineup. So I think it will be great, and we have a lot of 3-point shooters now. So yeah, I think it's gonna be great.
トレーニングキャンプの間にケミストリー作るのももちろん